All right. So we are good. Now I got it recorded. All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is Coffee with Coach Brandy. This is Jen. She's got her dog mom coffee mug. And Jen has been a client of Feed Your Soul for just over a year. And I wanted to do a spotlight on her because she is so fierce coming in from various different injuries. And she has taken consistent classes every single week for a year. And it's paying off huge. As a coach that I see her in my class, I watch her muscles grow, I watch her stamina grow, and I watch her confidence grow. So that's why I wanted to feature her on here live. Welcome, Jennifer. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Brandy.
Yeah, girl, I'm excited. And you're in your office because you are actually a chiropractor.
Yeah.
So what part of like physical fitness and self-care plays a role in you being an excellent chiropractor and being an excellent caretaker for your patients?
Well, it's kind of a twofold. You mentioned the physical. So obviously I have a really physically demanding job. I have to be up on my feet and manipulating people and moving them around for my livelihood. So being physically fit is a must for that job. And I want to show up for them and be able to be the best doctor I can. The other piece of that is I want to be able to lead by example. I'm really big on showing my patients what health and wellness looks like and walking the walk and talking the talk. So I think, that piece of it is really important for me as well. On a personal aspect, I know I feel physically and mentally so much better when I move my body on a regular basis.
Yeah, 100%. I love that you talk about wanting to walk the walk because we as people who connect with other people more so on a professional level, they look at us as a positive role model. And when we are on top of our own health, it makes us show up better for them and it helps them show up better for them for sure.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your lifestyle. Obviously, you're a very busy entrepreneur. You run your own chiropractic business. What else is going on in your lifestyle?
So like you mentioned, I own my own business. I am a dog mom to two wonderful German shepherds that keep me on my toes. I'm a wife, and I'm a daughter. I'm busy doing all of those things, but I really like to stay active when I'm not busy with those things. So that means walking the dogs and going for hikes and going to Waterworld and going on trips and snorkeling, you name it. I want to be out in the outdoors enjoying it and getting some of the Colorado sunshine.
Yeah. And so with the injuries that you had coming into the community that were kind of ailing you from consistent exercise, what were those injuries and where have they come about during your time in exercising with us?
Yeah, so previous to coming to Feed Your Soul, I had been struggling with a chronic foot injury that was keeping me from running. So I've been running for years. That has always been my solace and my go-to form of exercise. I've done a couple half marathons. I like to do 10Ks, 5Ks. It's just a really great way to motivate me. And I was actually at the Colfax Half Marathon watching my husband run last May. And I messaged Brandy literally while I was watching the race and said, hey, like, I'm feeling really left out. Like, I want to be out there and these injuries are keeping me from doing that. But I know that I need to get some form of regular exercise because I had been basically just not exercising because I couldn't do my preferred form of exercise. And I know as a doctor and in the health and wellness realm, like, we have to find a way to do it. So I finally just was like, well, I'm motivated. I'm just going to message her right now so that I can get back on track.
I remember getting that message, and I know what it's like to be on the sidelines of a race, watching a friend or a family member race it, and you're missing out for either being sick or having an injury or being out of shape, and you just don't have that yet. FOMO is a real big thing and can be a source of motivation. What transpired with the exercise in correlation to running? Like, so you're not a regular runner these days due to this chronic injury, but how did exercise kind of rise up to replace that because running was your preferred method?
I think before I just always felt like I didn't belong in a gym. If I was lifting weights, if I went to like a big box gym, I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't find it really fun or interesting. I don't know. Like at that point, like I didn't have a lot of knowledge. So I was looking for a community and a place where I would feel comfortable, where I would feel supported, where I wouldn't feel judged, and something that had some variety. Like I love the cardio aspect of running. I like getting my heart rate up. I like getting a good sweat. So that's why I think that before I didn't really like weightlifting, but I love how, especially the circuit classes at Feed Your Soul integrate both. I get my strength training in, but I also get the cardio. So I feel like I was scratching that itch, but also really being able to be more balanced in my approach to activity.
Well, what I love in this that you talked about the vulnerability of feeling too intimidated, and you didn't say those words, but like to go into a gym, you didn't feel like you belonged there in a big box gym lifting weights. That's interesting to me because you are kind of in that bucket of like health practitioner. You know the body, you're
Yep.
aware of the body. And so I think a lot of times people, like we actually have a lot of massage therapists in our community. We have a lot of chiropractors, acupuncture, people who are aware of the body. And even me, who is, personal trainer, have lots of different certifications, going to some of these more intense type fitness places is really intimidating. So it's interesting that even you felt that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I knew what I was doing, but I felt like other people were looking at me thinking, what is she doing here? She doesn't belong. Right.
No, totally. And I think that that's like we have the confidence of what we should be doing, but it's really about that environment. So that's really interesting that it's kind of come full circle for you to feel comfortable with lifting weights and trying to extract some of those realms you get with running, that runner's high, which I'm all too familiar with. But even in your lifting, and obviously due to your injuries, running's probably not on, the docket anytime soon. But I would imagine if you when you are able to get back and do it, the strength training is really plays a huge role in helping it. So for ladies out there who are watching and you are in that health practitioner bucket and you're wanting to get your body to the next level, you want to feel healthier, be more optimal with your health, but those things are intimidating. Like again, like Jen, you're not alone. We both feel that. And so tell us a little bit about some of the non-scale victories, like where all has this bled into your life as far as coming to this community, utilizing the consistent workouts, where all's that bled into with non-scale victories?
I would say the biggest shift I've seen over the last year is mentally how I show up. When I go to a workout, I show up as a better wife, a better doctor, a better friend, just a better human being, because I'm less stressed, I'm less anxious. And that's the biggest win for me. And that was always the struggle for me. It was the mental piece of it, physically doing it. Once I got there, I could do the workout, I could do the run, I could do all those things. It was just the mental battle of getting there. And now I don't really have that battle. I mean, some mornings I'm a little tired, but I still show up because I know that I'm going to feel amazing when I walk out of the studio after that workout.
Yeah, and you are an early birdie. You like to take those 5:30 and 6 a.m. workouts, which is so admirable. Just get it in, get it done.
Yeah. I know that I know myself. I'm a morning person, and I also know my lifestyle. Like if I don't get it in first thing in the morning, life will happen and it won't get fit in. And I have to prioritize myself first thing in the morning. And I'm willing to get up early, several times a week to make that happen.
Very good point, tangent I want to hit, because now even though you're a morning person, were early morning workouts always your go-to?
That's always been my preference.
Okay. Because I know there's some people out there that are like, well, I'm just not a morning person. And I always try to encourage them, like one morning a week, get up that like 45 minutes earlier to get your workout in. You don't have to do it 7 days a week, but just one day a week, especially like you said, with your lifestyle and the demands you have, if you don't get it in the morning, it doesn't happen. So for those of you guys who are watching where you're like, that's kind of me, I'm realizing it goes week after week and month after month that I'm not getting it in. It's probably because you're trying to shove it in at lunch or trying to shove it in after work when there's just too much stuff, too many balls in the air, too many things pending. Getting up early is not that bad once or twice a week. So you've clearly accomplished a lot. What would you say are your next goals that you are chasing if you look at May of 2023 compared to where you were at a year ago, May 2022? Where do you want to see yourself in May of 2024?
I'd like to continue progressing in strength training. I'm really enjoying that now. Looking forward to doing a workshop with you guys at some point here in the next year. I'd also like to get back to running. I feel like I'm really close. I've been working on rehabbing this injury. So that's definitely something that I want to get back to. But the strength training for me is so ingrained in my lifestyle at this point that it's never gonna go away. It's always going to be a part of what I do. I feel like it's just who I am at this point.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that the older we get, the more strength training we need. So watching you, even in my classes where we've dabbled into the barbells a little bit, where you've got the confidence to do a bench press with a barbell or a deadlift with a barbell after a year of working with dumbbells and building up your familiarity with proper form, getting your confidence with, going heavier in the dumbbells to get there while keeping yourself safe with these various, limitations or injuries, I think is a big important thing. And I will toot your horn. You guys, what's really cool about Jen is she is like workouts are just a big part of who she is. She was just recently on vacation in Mexico. She tapped into one of our workouts virtually on Zoom early in the morning in Mexico to get it in. What made you want to do that while you were in Mexico?
I mean, like I said before, like I just know how I feel after I get a workout in. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to completely abandon my routine while I was gone. And my husband's not a morning person, so he was sleeping anyways. So it's like, what? Rather than just sit here and, I don't know, mess around on my phone or do something else, like let's get a workout in. And I had a great day and I had so much more energy because I got it in. So, and I enjoyed seeing everybody. I missed the ladies. Like I really did. Like I know it's only been a few days, but I see them, 3 times a week. So they're a part of my life.
That was so cool how they all came to the camera to say hi.
Mhm.
And I think like that community is such a big part of how we belong. I mean, even as a coach, having my regular classes there every week, knowing I'm going to see these familiar and similar faces. And that's a big part of the certainty in my life. That's a big part of those grounding features of my life when there are so many other realms of our lives that are uncertain and we can't really seem to get that grasp. Like having that part of the community, I'm sure makes an impact on you as well, clearly.
Absolutely. Well, that and like, there's been times where I was sick or life was just crazy that week and I wasn't able to make it to like a normal time. So like Tuesday mornings, pretty religiously, I've been there every Tuesday morning at 5:30. And I've had some of the ladies reach out to me like, are you okay? Like we missed you this morning. Like I feel like if I showed up in any other part of my life, nobody would notice.
Yeah.
Like care and they want me to be there. So that's pretty cool to feel like you belong somewhere.
Yeah.
Like as an adult, we don't often get that unless we seek it out, right?
That's a really valid point because a lot of us who are struggling to have friendships and have relationships outside of work, it's really challenged, right? You've got your couple of family members maybe, but you might be new to the area and feel like you need to belong. And I even know some of our clients who are virtual who literally are on the East Coast or Midwest, but they see those people on the Zoom call and they're like, cool, like my coach is here. She's usually in my class. She's usually in my class. Like there is something to that I think helps us show up better for ourselves. So I love that you've tapped into that. That's awesome. Well, Jen, you are always a very positive, very driven woman in every one of our Feed Your Soul classes. We love having you involved. And anything that you want to share with any other woman out there who is watching Feed Your Soul, who's like, am I that woman for Feed Your Soul? Anything you want to share with them?
I would say, don't let fear stop you. This community is absolutely amazing. They will support you. They will meet you where you are at. They will help you to grow. They will push you, but in a way that I feel is safe and productive. I can't say enough good things about the community that you've created and the women in it. I would say give it a chance, and I know that you're going to fall in love with the community and with the classes and just everything that you guys have to offer. And the
I
coaches
agree.
as well.
Yeah, and I think that women fall in love with themselves in the process, which self-love is another thing we're lacking. Yes, we need those outside relationships. We just talked about that, but I actually just met with a woman last week. She came into the studio and she's got 3 boys. She's a single mom. And she mentioned that her youngest was 11, coming on 12 in a couple of months. And she's like, soon he's not going to need me. And I'm sitting here like, who am I? What is my identity? What am I about? What makes me happy? Like, it's got to be more than just me going to work and coming home. And I think that we find a little bit more about ourselves through our actual workouts and our exercise.
Absolutely. Like, I glad you mentioned that as well. Like, I think that I've gained some of that self-confidence and self-love and understanding of myself through that process as well, by putting myself first in for workouts, first and foremost. And then so much other stuff has blossomed for me from that.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for a quick client spotlight. I know I'll see you in class soon. And I also just appreciate what a powerful businesswoman you are in the local community. I love local small business owners. Jennifer is a fantastic chiropractor. So if you ever want to have trustworthy woman working on your health through those modalities, definitely hit her up. But Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday.
Thanks, Brandy.
All right, you guys, see you next week. Take care. Bye.